Let's take a look at the individual components of a lesson. Here you'll see we're looking at the What's Wrong with Porpoises Part 3 lesson part. The title of the full lesson is here, What's Wrong with the Porpoises? And we're working on Part 3. You'll see here that Learn is highlighted because this is a Learn lesson. Down here you'll notice that there are individual lesson cards. Each individual card represents a new activity. As you work your way through the different lesson parts, you'll see here is a quick check. And if there are multiple screens to the quick check, you would see 1 out of 4, and you could click Next before clicking Submit. These are links to individual activities. This is a link to the textbook. So anything that you'll need for the individual lesson parts is linked directly into the lesson cards. Up here in the upper right hand corner you'll see our resource buttons. This button is the project button and it gives you a reminder of what your project is for this individual unit. This button here is our standards icon and it lists all of the standards that are being met by this lesson. This button here is our lesson objective icon and it lists the objectives. This icon is our assignments icon. Here's our books and materials icon. And this is our print icon. This is where you would go if you wanted to print an individual lesson, a full unit, or the full course. And we'll also take a look at a Use for Mastery lesson since that looks a little different than a Learn lesson. So you'll notice here that this says Use because now we're working on that Use component of our framework. These cards give you some background information to help you with your Use for Mastery assessment. This is what a Use for Mastery assessment looks like. Again, you have the option of either typing in your response or handwriting that response and uploading it. You'll want to make sure that you take a look at the Use for Mastery guidelines and rubric before completing your submission. This will give you some helpful tips to make sure that you've completely and thoroughly answered the assessment questions. And then once you've done that, you can just click Submit. We'll also take a look at a Show lesson part. So here is a Show lesson. You'll notice that this is now changed to Show. And this is actually where you'll have the opportunity to upload your final project. And finally, we'll take a look at what a unit quiz looks like. And a unit quiz lesson looks like this. As you answer the questions, you'll click Next, and you'll see that there are 15 screens for this individual quiz.